CompTIA A Core 2, Complete Training Course. Exam Objective 2.5 Compare and contrast common social engineering attacks, threats, and vulnerabilities. Threats. According to CompTIA, a threat is anything that has the potential to cause harm to a system, network, or data. These threats come in many forms, from attacks that overwhelm systems to attackers who secretly intercept communications or exploit vulnerable software. We have already covered one major category of threats through social engineering, but now it is time to focus on some of the more technical attacks IT professionals may encounter in the real world. Let's begin with a denial of service attack, commonly referred to as a DOS attack. A DOS attack is an attack designed to make a system, server, or network resource unavailable to legitimate users. One of the most common methods involves flooding a server with an overwhelming amount of traffic or requests until it can no longer respond properly. Imagine trying to order food at a restaurant where thousands of fake customers suddenly rush through the door all at once. The employees become overwhelmed trying to take orders, answer questions, and serve people who are not even real customers. Meanwhile, legitimate customers are left waiting outside because the restaurant no longer has the resources or capacity to serve them properly. A DOS attack works in a very similar way. The attacker overwhelms the target system with so many fake requests that legitimate users can no longer access the service normally. Now, if a DOS attack is one attacker causing trouble, then a distributed denial of service attack, or DDoS attack, is the same chaos multiplied across many devices. In a DDoS attack, multiple systems work together to overwhelm the target simultaneously. These attacking devices are often part of a botnet, which is a network of compromised systems infected with malware and remotely controlled by an attacker. The compromised systems, commonly called zombies, may belong to completely unsuspecting users who have no idea their devices are participating in the attack. By spreading the attack across many systems worldwide, DDoS attacks become much harder to block and far more disruptive. Another network-based threat is the evil twin attack. An evil twin attack occurs when an attacker sets up a rogue wireless access point designed to imitate a legitimate Wi-Fi network. The fake wireless network often uses a nearly identical network name, or SSID, to trick users into connecting. Once connected, the attacker may monitor traffic, capture credentials, or redirect users to malicious websites. Public places like coffee shops, airports, and hotels are common locations for evil twin attacks because users are often searching for available Wi-Fi networks without verifying their legitimacy. Next up is the zero-day attack, which is one of the more dangerous threats security professionals face. A zero-day attack exploits a software vulnerability before the software vendor or developers have had an opportunity to release a fix or patch. The term zero-day refers to the fact that developers have had 0 days to address the vulnerability. Because no official fix exists yet, attackers can sometimes exploit these vulnerabilities successfully before defenders even realize the weakness exists. Moving on, we have spoofing. Spoofing is an attack where an attacker disguises themselves as another person, device, or service by falsifying information. This could involve fake email addresses, forged IP addresses, fraudulent websites, or other deceptive tactics. The goal is to trick users or systems into believing the communication is legitimate. Whether it is a fake bank website or an email pretending to come from your manager, spoofing is all about deception and misdirection. Spoofing often plays a major role in another attack known as an on-path attack, formerly called a man-in-the-middle attack. In an on-path attack, an attacker secretly positions themselves between two communicating parties to intercept, monitor, or even modify the communication. Imagine trying to have a private conversation while someone secretly listens in and occasionally changes parts of the message before passing it along. Attackers may steal credentials, capture sensitive information, or inject malicious content into the communication without either side realizing what is happening. Some attacks focus specifically on authentication systems. One example is the brute force attack. A brute force attack is an authentication attack where the attacker systematically guesses every possible combination of letters, numbers, and symbols to uncover a password. Rather than relying on trickery, the attacker simply depends on persistence and computing power. Weak passwords can often be cracked surprisingly quickly with this method, especially if account lockout protections are not in place. A dictionary attack works similarly to a brute force attack, but uses a more targeted approach. Rather than trying every possible combination, the attacker uses a precompiled list of commonly used passwords, words, and phrases. Since many users still choose predictable passwords, such as password 123, dictionary attacks can be very effective against weak password practices. Not all threats originate from outside an organization. Some of the most dangerous threats come from trusted individuals within the organization itself. This is known as an insider threat. An insider threat occurs when an employee, contractor, or business partner misuses legitimate access to systems or data. Sometimes the actions are malicious and intentional, while other times they result from carelessness or negligence. Since insiders already possess authorized access, they can often bypass security measures more easily than external attackers. A modern threat closely related to social engineering is business email compromise, commonly referred to as BEC. A business email compromise attack occurs when attackers compromise or impersonate a trusted business email account in order to manipulate employees into transferring money or revealing sensitive information. These attacks often target executives, payroll departments, or financial staff. For example, an attacker might impersonate a company executive and send an urgent request for a wire transfer. Because the message appears to come from someone trusted, victims may comply without realizing they are communicating with an attacker. Another increasingly dangerous threat is the supply chain attack, sometimes referred to as a pipeline attack. In a supply chain attack, attackers compromise a trusted third-party vendor, software provider, or service used by the target organization. Rather than attacking the organization directly, the attacker exploits the trust relationship between the organization and its suppliers. In many cases, attackers look for the weakest link in the chain, targeting a smaller or less secure vendor as an easier entry point into a much larger organization. For example, malicious code may be inserted into a legitimate software update distributed to thousands of customers. Because the update appears trustworthy and comes from a known vendor, organizations may unknowingly install the malware themselves. This makes supply chain attacks especially dangerous because the malicious software often arrives through systems and services that organizations already trust. Now let's get a bit more technical with structured query language injection, commonly known as SQL injection. SQL injection is an attack where malicious SQL code is inserted into application input fields in an attempt to manipulate a database. An attacker may exploit vulnerable login forms or web applications to bypass authentication, retrieve sensitive information, modify records, or even delete data entirely. Since databases often store highly sensitive information, SQL injection attacks can be extremely damaging if successful. One of the best defenses against SQL injection is input validation. By ensuring users can only enter expected types of data into form fields, organizations can reduce the likelihood of malicious code being executed against the database. Last up, we have cross-site scripting, commonly abbreviated as XSS. Cross-site scripting is an attack where malicious scripts are injected into trusted websites. These scripts are then executed within the browsers of other users visiting the site. These scripts may steal cookies, session tokens, or other sensitive information. In some cases, attackers may even trick users into performing actions they never intended to perform. Cross-site scripting often works by taking advantage of poor input validation on websites. If a web application improperly handles user input, attackers may be able to inject malicious JavaScript or other scripts into web pages viewed by others. Just like SQL injection, proper input validation can play a major role in defending against cross-site scripting attacks. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more great content.